start with a Vaishnava song, Auranga Bolite Have. Auranga Bolite Have, Pulaka Sharira, Hari Hari Bolite, Nayane Bhave Nira. Auranga Bolite Ave, Pulaka Sharira, Hari Hari Bolite, Nayane Bhave Nira. Auranga Bolite Arka Venita Chande Karuna Hoibe Samsara Vasana Mura Ave Tuchave Arka Venita Chande Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Vimana Kabe Hamaye Ramo Shri Vrindavana Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Vimana Raghunatha Pade Hoive Akuti Kabe Hama Bhuja Vose Yugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Raghunatha Pade Rahu Mora Asha Prarthana Koro Ye Sada Narottama Dasa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Mora Asha बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीरा हरि हरि बोलिते नयने भवे नीरा हवे पुलक शरीरा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Nithai Chaitanya Jaya Nithai Chaitanya 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 Krishna Sankirtanam ki. Somebody read the translation.
When will that opportune moment? When will that opportune moment come to us? When there will be smearing of the body as soon as we chant Lord Gauranga name. While chanting Hare Krishna, when will there be tears in the eyes? When will obtain the mercy of Lord Nityananda Chandra? When by his mercy will the desire for material enjoyment become very insignificant? When the mind is
When the mind is completely purified, being freed from material anxieties and desire, then I shall be able to understand Vrindavan and the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, and then my spiritual life will be successful.
When shall I be very much eager to study the books left by the six Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami? By their instruction, I shall be able to properly understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna.
My only aspiration is to attain the lotus feet of the six Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Narottam Das constantly prays to attain their lotus feet.
Srila Narottam Das Thakur Pad ki. Please open Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, 20th verse. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदातिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हतैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा हवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम्। नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामम् पार्थास्त्रपूतापदमापुरस्य। तत्रैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा हवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम्। नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामम् पार्थास्त्रपूतापदमापुरस्य। तत्रैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा हवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम्। नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामम् पार्थास्त्रपूतापदमापुरस्य। Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Certainly others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaughts of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus-like face of the Lord, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. Okay. So today we will be looking at Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 13 of Madhya Leela. Okay. So I was asked to speak on the topic of Rath Yatra. Of course, I have not attended many Rath Yatras, and I have only been to Jagannath Puri once. But I have heard from some senior devotees and some lectures in this regard. So speak some things in that direction. After that, we'll go through that chapter. Okay? Yeah. If you look at, even in the society, even in our society, Jagannath has a very, very special role to play. Okay? So Prabhupada in the mid 60s or so he left to America. Okay? But before Prabhupada, something else went, what was it? Huh? No, Bhagavatam. Before Prabhupada actually went there, what reached? Okay? Already Bhagavatam is there in the libraries of United States, for that matter. Many of the libraries. Okay? But Jagannath as such is even more merciful. Before even Prabhupada or Bhagavatam would go, Jagannath had already reached the shores of America and was already giving his mercy for that matter. Okay? So in our society, Jagannath has a very special role. Before I continue, I seek the blessings of Bhaktivinoda Prabhu and many elderly devotees here, sitting over here. Okay? And Prabhupada for that matter. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. Yeah, so Jagannath had a very special role. He went before Prabhupada to give his mercy across the whole world. Okay? He is the only Lord. Okay? If you go to other places also, if you go to many of the temples in South India and all, only the Utsav Murti as such comes out, okay, during the procession and all. Okay? But in Jagannath Puri, the Lord, specially, he himself in his full manifestation comes out to give out mercy to everybody. Okay? He knows there are many people who don't come to his place to visit him, so he only decides to go out and give out his mercy for that matter. Especially in Kali Yuga, many are not eager to come and see him, so he decides to come over there to give him mercy. Okay? The previous ages, it was only in Jagannath Puri he was doing. He used to come out only on that grand road, move from one place to the Gundicha temple. Okay? But as on today, by Prabhupada's mercy, he is doing it across the whole world for that matter. Across the whole world. This verse here, Tattaiva Channe Naraloka Veera. So, something very special was happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, all the Naraloka Veera, so all the brave soldiers were there, and as they were taking part in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, this was something very, very special that was happening. Yahave Krishna Mukhara Vindam. Okay? Looking at the Mukhara Vinda of the Supreme Lord, what was happening? There, if you read it, you can understand. Okay? What is happening there? Okay, achieved the abode of the Lord. Pleasing to the Lord. Okay. So our Bhakti Ashara Vaishnava Maharaj was telling, Ahave Krishna Mukharavindam. Okay. They were spellbound. Okay. That was what their thought was. Okay. Looking at Krishna on the chariot as such. Okay. So this is one of the most crucial things we need to do during Rath Yatra. That is to take darshan of the Lord. Okay. Not here, when he's there on the Ratha as such. Okay. As well, if you observe closely, his eyes will be rolling in ecstasy. Because he is so eager to give mercy to everybody, coming in his form over there. So he is very, very happy. Okay. So to take darshan of the Lord during that time is very, very crucial. Many other things you might do, that is taking prasadam, or offering some garland to the Lord, or doing some service, etc., etc. But this is the most crucial thing when it comes to Rath Yatra. Okay? That is to take darshan of the Lord. That is very, very special. Netre pibanto nayanabhiramam. Okay? Generally, in this world we drink with the mouth. Okay? We drink with the mouth for that matter. Any liquid, something is given, we drink. Okay? But on this particular day, netre pibanto. You can actually drink with your eyes. Okay? Nayana abhiramam. Okay? Abhiramam. Okay? Your eyes will feel completely satisfied, taking this special darshan of the Lord. Okay? Many of the other soldiers who were there, Parthastra Puta, they were shot by the arrows of the Lord. Okay? But on this day, who takes darshan of the Lord, okay, he is by the beauty of the Lord, he gets liberated. Okay? By the beauty of the Lord, he gets liberated for that matter. So Jagannath on this day is going out, shooting out his arrows and liberating everybody on this a special day for that matter. Okay? So we should not miss this opportunity of going in front of him and getting shot for that matter. Okay? Yeah. So if you see, there is Tirupati Balaji, there is Krishna. Lord takes so many forms in exchange of his devotees. But specifically, Jagannath is called as Jagannath. Okay? So he is the Nath of this Jagat. Okay? So the explanation goes something like this. If you see all the other forms of the Lord takes, Krishna is coming, he is experiencing Nava Yavanamcha. In the sense, he is youthful throughout his whole life. Okay? Even at the age of 125 years old, Prabhupada says when he is speaking Bhagavad Gita, he is not some like old man holding one stick and somehow some words he is speaking and all of that. He is a very, very, you have seen photo of Krishna speaking to Arjuna. He is very, very youthful, very, very energetic over there. Okay? It's not that he's just about to die in 2 days, one special message had to be sent, or last WhatsApp message, or some video had to be made. He was very eager for that. Okay? Nothing like that. Okay? He's very, very enthusiastic to give the message to the to Arjuna over there. Okay? Okay? And at the end of the life, Krishna is goes back home, back to Godhead. We learn that in Bhagavatam. Okay? Same way with all the other forms of the Lord also. All of the other forms of the Lord, they come and they manifest and unmanifest. Okay? But specifically when he is coming as Jagannath, he is undergoing the same difficulties that practically all of us undergo. Okay? Like right now he is undergoing a sickness over here. Okay? So practically whatever we speak, birth, old age, disease, death, this is something Jagannath personally empathizes with all his devotees. Okay? So he also takes birth, in the form of, he is dipped in chandan and then he is carved, that is his birth. Okay? Then at a particular time, old age, then the deity as such is replaced. Okay? Then disease, currently is under disease condition. Okay? So corona time, this quarantine and all came into picture. But Jagannath started it, ages ago for that matter. This is like old fashioned for him. Okay? So he is also under quarantine because he is sick for that matter. So birth, old age, disease and death. Okay? So specifically, he agrees to undergo all the difficulties that his devotees undergo in this world just to empathize with them very strongly. That is why he is called as Nath of this Jagat. Jagannath for that matter. Jagannath. So, devotees in Dwarka, they had not experienced the childhood pastimes of the Lord. Okay? So when they request Mother Rohini to speak those pastimes, she knew if she starts speaking and all, the young boys, Krishna and Balram, or at that point of time they were elderly. So wherever they are, they might come. So she didn't want any kind of disturbance, either from them or anybody else for that matter. So she tells Subhadramai, you stand at the door and you close the door and keep guard at the door, and don't let anybody come inside for that matter, because it's a very confidential discussion happening, no one else should come. So she was standing over there, and as she was standing at the door, she thought, let me see inside what is happening. I also getting bored over here, standing at the door. So let me look inside. Okay? Then she opened the door with her 2 hands. She was standing like this over there. Okay? And as she continued to continuously hear the pastimes of the Lord, and as she was hearing, okay, then she became spellbound. Okay? She became so absorbed in hearing the pastimes of the Lord that she also lost consciousness. That is when she acquired this form. Okay, what we see on the altar over there. And Krishna and Balaram at that point of time, they were passing by. They came over there and they were wondering what is happening. So they also started hearing the pastimes of the Lord. Okay? And as soon as they started to hear, they also became enamored. Okay? Just like when we feel happy, we are like not blinking our eyes. We are seeing with full eyes open. Okay? And we don't want to miss a single single detail of that particular thing, whatever is happening over there. Okay? Same way Krishna and Balaram also at that point of time, when we open our eyes, we can maximum open to this extent. Okay? But when Krishna opens his eyes, that is how he looks like. That is how he looks like. Okay? And Subhadramai at that point of time, she is standing like this. Okay? Krishna and Balaram enter over here and they start to hear that pastimes. Okay? That is why you don't see the hands of Subhadramai, because they are behind Krishna and Balaram over there. So this is the reason why Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, they actually manifest this particular form. Okay? And one more pastime that is there in the scriptures is in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Okay? So the gopis of Vrindavan, they come over there and they are wanting to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. Okay? Because there, when he is there as a aristocratic king. Okay? Wearing all mukut and all, huge ornaments and everything. Looking very, very majestic. In that majestic aspect, they are not experiencing any kind of sweetness. Okay? So as he is there on the Ratha, so they are trying to pull him back to Vrindavan. Okay? And as they are pulling him back, they are reminding him, you know what all you did in Vrindavan, and this is what you were, and this is how the exchanges of Vrindavan were there. So why is it you are here? As they are reminding him of Vrindavan, again he takes this form only. of Krishna manifesting himself as Jagannath. Okay? And as you are standing on the Ratha, so all the gopis of Vrindavan, they're actually pulling the Ratha over there. So as they're pulling the Ratha, very strongly, in celebration of that particular exchange that happened between the Lord and his devotees, the Rath Yatra is actually celebrated. The Rath Yatra is actually celebrated. So this song what we sang, Gauranga, Polite Habe Pulaka Sharira. Okay? So, of course, in this particular day, many services will be there, and there will be many things each one of us will be involved in. But most important is to actually ask our consciousness with which we actually do it for the Lord. So, here in this song, Narottam Das Thakur is actually asking, okay, when will that day come when taking the name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Gauranga, I will be able to experience all these divine manifestations that actually are written in the scriptures. Okay, it has been days, it has been weeks, it has been months, it has been years, it has been decades for that matter. Still, as of now, nothing else is happening to me. I put my hand in my bead bag; it's like a switch. Swing, I insert it, as if like you say, no switch off. Then we also are switched off over there. They are also switched off. Okay, so these are very special days when the Lord is actually bountifully, like a lottery, he is giving out his mercy. Okay, he is giving out his mercy. Okay, and we take advantage of that. We pray and we beg for that mercy. Then we actually get that mercy. Okay, he decided in relation to the holy name when a person is actually chanting and is committing offenses. Okay? So if he is begging for forgiveness from Sri Harinam Prabhu, then Harinam Prabhu will excuse all those offenses. Okay? And if he doesn't beg for those offenses to be excused, then he will not be excused only. Very simple. Then he will not be excused for that matter. Same way on this particular day, the Lord is actually manifesting to give out his mercy many times. And we ask for that mercy, then we actually get it. If we don't ask for it, then Rath Yatra will pass by, and then the name will be called so and so devotee has done prasadam cooking, prasadam distribution, he has made the Ratha rope, etc. But there will be no change in consciousness. There will be no change in consciousness. Okay? So be it Dham Yatra, or be it a festival, or be it any special occasion for that matter. We have to ask ourselves after that occasion what has been the change in consciousness. Okay? If there has been no change in consciousness, then that particular event, it was a celebration for our own senses. We never celebrated it as an offering to the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So now we look at this pastime. You can please open Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 13th chapter. So in this Madhya Leela, the pastimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had after his sannyas for 6 years or so, that is actually compiled over here. Okay? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tour to South India, his philosophical confrontations, and what all he teaches to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami at Varanasi and Prayagraj, all these things are very appropriately compiled. I have not exhaustively read Madhya Leela, but whatever is here as such, we'll read it, and I'll try to relate in whatever is spoken by the acharyas there. So, chapter 13, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Rath Yatra. You have one more mic? There? Read it. You can start from the description over there. This chapter is very huge. It has close to 209 verses. So we'll see how much we'll be able to cover.
Chapter 13, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Rath Yatra. A summary of this chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya as follows. After bathing early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the deities, Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, get aboard their 3 cars. This function is called Pandu Vijaya. At that time, King Prataprudra took a broom with a golden handle and began to cleanse the road. Lord Jagannath took permission from the goddess of fortune and then started in the car for the Gundisha temple. The road to the temple led along a broad sandy beach, and on both sides of the road were residential quarters, houses and gardens. Along that road, the servants called Gaudas began to pull the cars. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided his Sankirtan party into 7 divisions, with 2 mridangas in each division. There were altogether 14 mridangas. While performing Kirtan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited various symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, and Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exchanged their feelings very blissfully. When the cars reached the place known as Balagandhi, the devotees offered the deities simple food. At this time, in a nearby garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees took a brief rest from the dancing.
Yeah. So read only the translations. Okay? We'll just recite this. No, read it.
May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who danced in front of the car of Sri Jagannath, be all glorified. By seeing his dancing, not only was the whole universe held in wonder, but Lord Jagannath himself became very much astonished.
See?
All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to the listeners of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please hear the description of the dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Rath Yatra festival. His dancing is very enchanting. Please hear of it with great attention.
Yeah. See?
The next day,
Even if you happen to read Leelamrita, there you'll observe that Prabhupada as such was very, very eager to go to Jagannath Puri and actually manifest this pastime that was happening over here. Okay? So many, many important details are there. As you go through it, you'll be able to understand. Okay? So you can read 3 or 4 verses each devotee. Okay?
The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates got up in the dark and attentively took their early morning baths. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates then went to see the ceremony of Pandu Vijaya. During this ceremony, Lord Jagannath leaves his throne and gets up onto the car. King Prataprudra in person, as well as his entourage allowed the Pandu Vijaya ceremony to be seen by all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his prominent devotees, Vedacharya, Nityananda Prabhu, and others, were very happy to observe how Lord Jagannath began the Rath Yatra. The very strongly built Daitas, the carriers of the Jagannath deity, were as powerful as the drunken elephants. They manually carried Lord Jagannath from the throne to the car. While carrying the deities of Lord Jagannath, some of the Daitas took hold of the shoulders of the Lord and some caught his lotus feet.
I think all of you would have seen that photo. Prataprudra, King Prataprudra is brooming in front of Lord Jagannath. Huge Jagannath photo is there where everybody is holding it. Yes, bro. Continue.
The Lord Jagannath deity was bound at the waist by a strong, thick rope made of silk. From two sides, the Daityas caught hold of this rope and raised the deity. Strong, puffed up cotton pads called tulis were spread out from the throne to the guard, and the heavy deity of Lord Jagannath was carried from one pillow-like pad to the next by the Daityas. While the Daityas carried the heavy Jagannath deity from one pad to the next, some of the pads broke and the cotton contents floated into the air. When they broke, they made a heavy cracking sound. Lord Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe. Who can carry him from one place to another? The Lord moves by his personal will just to perform his pastimes.
While the Lord was transported from the throne to the car, tumultuous sounds were made on various musical instruments. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting
Manima, Manima,
but he could not be heard. While the Lord was being carried from the throne to the car, King Keshav personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with a broom that had a golden handle. The king sprinkled the road with sandalwood-scented water. Although he was not the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of the Lord Jagannath.
Although the king was most exalted, respectable person, still he accepted menial service for the Lord. He therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. Upon seeing the king, Engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy simply by rendering this service. The king received the mercy of the Lord. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations on the
Prabhu,
avatar.
read the purport. Purport of previous one, 18th.
Upon seeing
Yeah. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord for that. Yes, sir. Open purport.
unless one receives the mercy of the Lord, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead or engage in his devotional service.
तथापि देव पदाम्बुजद्वय प्रसादलेशानुगृहीत एव हि जानाति तत्त्वं भगवन् महिम्नो न चान्य एकोऽपि चिरन्विचिन्नम्.
A devotee who has received even a small fraction of the mercy of the Lord can understand him. Others may engage in theoretical speculation to understand the Lord, but they cannot know anything about him. Although Maharaja Prataprudra was very eager to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord refused to see him. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the king engaged in menial service for the Lord Jagannath, he became very happy. Thus the king became eligible to receive Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. If a devotee accepts Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the universal Guru and Lord Jagannath as the Supreme Personality of the Godhead Krishna, he is benefited by the combined mercy of Krishna and Guru. That is stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his instructions to Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Charitamrita 19.151.
ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कौन भाग्यवान जी गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज.
The seed of devotional service fructifies and becomes a transcendental creeper. Finally, it reaches the lotus feet of the Lord in the spiritual sky. This seed is obtained by the mercy of the Lord and the Guru. By the Lord's mercy, one gets the association of a bona fide Guru, and by the mercy of the Guru, one gets a chance to render devotional service. Devotional service, the science of Bhakti Yoga, carries one from this material world to the spiritual world.
Yeah. Okay. So this is something very, very crucial we have to understand on the path of bhakti. Okay. The main thing that hinders growth in the path of devotional service is not learning the principles of sadachar. Okay. So here if you happen to see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't wanted to meet Maharaj Prataprudra. Okay. So Maharaj Prataprudra, although he is the king, he could have forced himself, or he could have been atrocious, violent, etc., etc. All that, it was not so difficult for him to be all of it. Okay, but he decided to please the Lord by menial service. Okay, decided to please the Lord by menial service. Okay, so whenever we have a tussle with any kind of a devotee, or whenever we have some kind of a misunderstanding, or whenever we want to actually become close to somebody's heart. Okay? That is the way actually taught over here. That is to just be respectful. That is to just be respectful. Okay? As you continue to be respectful, especially in relation to the spiritual master and to the devotees, this is what happens. We naturally gain a sense of space in their heart. Okay? We naturally gain a sense of space in their heart for that matter. So King Prataprudra, so he knew. See, these are not like modern times, where somebody is coming and doing some service. WhatsApp photo is taken and it is circulated everywhere. Then people get to know. Okay, king holding the broom was like, you can't even think of it. Can't even think of it. Okay, so this was a very, very rare incident that would come into picture. Okay. And King Prataprudra knew that this is the way that by which he can actually gain the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. And for that actually he strived for it. He strived for it, and he made sure he comes in the forefront and brooms the road for that matter. Read next.
In the year of 1973, there was a gorgeous Rath Yatra
No,
festival.
translation. Read the translation.
Everyone was astonished to see the decoration on the Rath. The car appeared to be newly made up of gold, and it was high as Mount Sumeru. In the year of 1973, there was a gorgeous Rath Yatra festival in London, England, and the car was brought to Trafalgar Square. The London daily newspaper The Guardian published a front page photo caption: ISKCON Rath Yatra is rival to the Nelson column in Trafalgar Square. The Nelson column is very impressive statue of Lord Nelson and can be seen from a good distance. Just as the resident of Puri compared the Rath Yatra car to Mount Sumeru, the resident of Lord considered the car rival to the Nelson monument.
Yeah, okay. Now this guy Gaurang Prabhu was sharing that during the time of the Britishers, no? So the Britishers made lot of effort, somehow or the other, to stop Jagannath Rath Yatra. Okay? So many things they were doing. They were distributing lot of pamphlets. In the pamphlet they used to write, "Arey, what are you people doing? These are only logs of wood. Logs of wood cannot be God. And what is the need for having?" Because even when the Viceroy used to come, so many people never used to come. Jagannath comes on the street, no? So there are like 10 lakhs and lakhs of people. I think 10 lakh, close to the number is. Okay? So many lakhs of people are there. They were wondering, whom are they coming for also? Okay? They were wondering, this person, he's coming on the cart, such a huge cart. So much money is getting spent for that and all of it. Okay? They were distributing pamphlets and so much of propaganda, etc., etc. Okay? Finally, after doing all of that, Jagannath, they ended up having a Rath Yatra in London only, for that matter. Okay? Yeah, read next.
The decorations included bright mirrors and hundreds of cameras, white
No, no,
hills,
chamaras, not camera.
chameras, white hills made of yak tails. On top of the car were a neat and clean canopy and a very beautiful flag. The car was also decorated with silken clothes and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, and ankle bells rang. For the pastimes of the Rath Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got aboard one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balarama got aboard two other cars.
For 15 days, the Lord had remained in a secluded place with the supreme goddess of fortune and had performed his pastimes with her. The 15-day period of Anavasara is also called Nibruta, in honor of solitary place where the supreme goddess of fortune lives. After living there a fortnight, Lord Jagannath takes permission from the goddess of fortune to leave.
Having taken permission from the goddess of fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the Ratana and performing his pastimes for the pleasure of the day. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments that as an ideal husband, Lord Jagannatha remained 15 days in the scheduled place with his wife. The supreme goddess of fortune, nonetheless, the Lord wanted to come out of seclusion to give happiness to his devotees. The Lord enjoys himself in 2 days, known as Swakiya and Parakiya. The Lord's conjugal love in the Swakiya Rasa relates to the regulative principles observed in Dharma, where the Lord has many married queens. But in Vrindavan, the conjugal love of the Lord is not with his married wives, but with his girlfriends, the gopis. Conjugal love with the gopis is called Parakiya Rasa. Lord Jagannatha leaves the scheduled place where he enjoys the company of the Supreme Goddess of Fortune in Swakiya Rasa, and he goes to Vrindavana where he enjoys the Parakiya Rasa. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura therefore reminds us that the Lord's pleasure in Parakiya Rasa is superior to his pleasure in Swakiya Rasa. In material world, Parakiya Rasa or loving affairs with unmarried girlfriends is the most degraded relation. But in the spiritual world, the kind of loving affairs is also of the supreme relation. cannot understand the affairs of spiritual world on the basis of our experience in the material world. The Lord's pastimes with devotees are therefore misunderstood by numerous scholars and world learners. The Parakya Rasa of the spiritual world should not be discussed except by one who is very advanced in pure devotional service. The Parakya Rasa in the spiritual world and Jatanda available are not comparable. The former is like gold and the latter is like iron. Because the difference between the two is so great, they cannot actually be compared. However, just like as a knowledgeable person can easily distinguish gold from iron, one way as a proper realization can easily distinguish the transcendental activities of the spiritual world from the material activities.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fine white sand spread all over the path resembled the bank of the Yamuna, and the small gardens on both sides looked just like those in Vrindavan. As Lord Jagannath rode in his car and saw the beauty on both sides, his mind was filled with pleasure. The pullers of the car were known as Gaudas, and they pulled with great pleasure. However, the car sometimes went very fast and sometimes very slow.
Sometimes the car would stand still and not move, even though it was pulled very vigorously. The chariot therefore moved by the will of the Lord, not by the strength of any ordinary person. As the car stood still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gathered all his devotees and with his own hand decorated them with flower garlands and sandalwood pulp. Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati were both personally given garlands and sandalwood pulp from the very hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This increased their transcendental pleasure.
Yeah, okay. So we are able to see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so person with all the devotees visiting over there. Okay? So he himself is doing, he can appoint some assistant to do that. He can appoint some assistant to do that. But deliberately he is going and applying all the chandan on everybody's forehead for that matter. Yeah, read.
Similarly, when Advaitacharya and Nityananda Prabhu tried the touch of the transcendental idol of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were very pleased. The Lord also gave garlands and sandalwood pulp to the performers of Sankirtan. The two chief performers were Swarup Damodar and Srivas Thakur. There were altogether 4 parties of Kirtan performers, comprising 24 chapters. In each party, there were also 2 Mridanga players, making an additional 8 persons. When the 4 parties were performed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after some consideration, divided the chanters. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, Advaitacharya, Haridas Thakur and Prakreshwar Pandit to dance in each of the 4 respective parties. Swarup Damodar was chosen as the leader of the first party and was given 5 assistants to respond to his chanting.
Yeah, okay. So even here we are able to observe is not some kind of a mundane thing that is happening. Okay? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually making a proper arrangement of the service of dance that is supposed to happen for the Supreme Lord for that matter. He is dividing the devotees, and further you will see, he will say these many specific number of mridangams, kartal, this person should dance, this person should lead the kirtan. Everything Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go on describing now. Yeah, continue.
The 5 who responded to the singing of Swarup Damodar were Damodar Pandit, Narayana, Govinda Datta, Raghav Pandit, and Sri Govinda Nanda. Advait Acharya Prabhu was ordered to dance in the first group. The Lord then formed another group with Srivas Thakur as the chief man. The 5 singers who responded to the singing of Srivas Thakur were Gangadas, Haridas, Shriman, Shubhananda, and Sri Rama Pandit. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was appointed as dancer.
Another group was formed consisting of Vasudeva, Gopinath, and Murari. All these were responses to the Pura of chief. Another 2 persons, Srikanta and Madhava Singha, joined their responses in this group. The senior Hridas Thakur was the dancer. The Lord formed another group appointing Govinda as the leader. In this group, the younger Hridas, Ashudas, and Madhav were the responding singers.
2 brothers named Madhava group and Vasudeva group also joined this group as responsive singers. Prakreshwar Pandit was the dancer.
There was a Sankirtana party from the village known as Kulina Grama, and Ramananda and Satyaraja were appointed the dancer in this group.
There was another party that came from Santipura and was formed by Advaita Acharya. Achyutananda was the dancer and the rest of the men were singers. Another party was formed by the people of Khanda. These people were singing in a different place in that group. Narahari Prabhu and Raghunandana were dancing.
4 parties chanted and danced in front of Lord Jagannath, and on either side was another party. Yet another was at the rear. There were altogether 7 parties of Sankirtan, and in each party 2 men were beating drums. Thus 14 drums were being played at once. The sound was tumultuous, and all the devotees became mad. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain.
Why these details are very important? We have to ask ourselves, does this happen to us? Okay, when we are actually, calling ourselves as devotees, here is written, all Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. Continue.
When the Sankirtan resounded, it filled the 3 worlds. Indeed, no one could hear any sound or musical instrument other than the Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered through the hall, even groups chanting the holy name Hari Hari, raising his arms, he shouted all glories to Lord Jagannath. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then exhibited another mystic power by performing pastimes simultaneously in all 7 groups.
Yeah, okay. So initially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just moving to one group to another. He was just wandering over there. Okay. After some time, he simultaneously manifested in all the 7 groups. Then all the devotees were feeling very, very special that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there in our group as such. Okay. So our group is very, very special for that matter. Okay. Yeah. So it goes on. So we completed close to 52 verses. Okay. So this whole chapter is like close to 209 verses, if I'm not wrong. Okay. I'd like to stop here. If there are any questions or so, I will take. If not, no, there will be devotees will be having services for Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance day as well. Oh.
Like 2015, His Holiness Bhakti Aswad Vaishnav Maharaj, he talked on the same sloka which you began. Is there some correlation with Rath Yatra that before the day or after the day this sloka was discussed?
No, no correlation. Basically, the context is the same. Here, everybody is getting liberated by taking the darshan of the Lord. So, the darshan of the Lord when he's coming as Jagannath. No, so there here Parthastra Puta. So here there is no astra, but he's shooting the arrows of his beauty to everybody.
Reminded me of Maharaj class when you started.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. That's right. Yes.
Prabhu, in Odisha, as you told, 10 lakh people are on the road, and they all, as you conveyed, one should be seeing the eyes of the Lord in the Rath Yatra. So 10 lakh people, how they will be seeing?
No, I didn't say they should be seeing the eyes of the Lord. I told like we should take the what do you say opportunity to make sure to go and take darshan of the Lord when He's there on the Ratha. We'll be doing so many other things, but this is something very crucial. This you will not get on some other day. Only on Rath Yatra day, Lord is there on the Ratha, no, not on the other days. So we should make it a point to go and take the darshan of the Lord. Especially when He's there on the Ratha, is extremely magnanimous, extremely merciful. When you take darshan, you will understand. Oh.
I heard in one class very recently that I think Sundarshan Prabhu was telling Prabhu that Rath Yatra began 13 crore years back, Prabhu. But in this past time where like gopis come and pull the Rath Yatra, like is it in this like where in this uh, Dwapar Yuga where Mahabharata what happened? Is it that time Prabhu or is it like previous?
It happened in some Swachosira Manu. That is what I know. So long back, 15 crore years. Maybe that time also this would have happened. So there are many pastimes in relation to how Krishna is actually manifesting in the form of Jagannath. These two which I knew I quoted. There might be more also. This is what I can answer. Okay, I think there are no more questions. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So as I posted in the group about services, in case something more is there, I'll just post in the group. No, I didn't get any clarity or who is in charge for that and all. Something more is there, it will be posted in the groups. As per that, you can come. So it's been like quite a few weeks. I'm just traveling. So, whatever, a little sick also. So somehow I try to do something in this direction. Okay? So because this topic is a very wide topic, very huge topic, as I said, 209 verses. So many details are there. Very beautiful chapter. Once we read with Antardeep Prabhu there, and Sundarsham Prabhu recently also, when Prabhuji had come, he had read with us. Okay? So before Rath Yatra, so all these episodes that come, these are worth meditating upon and trying to understand what the Supreme Lord is actually trying to teach us over there. Okay? And as we take part in Rath Yatra, we try to do it in the same consciousness. We try to do it in the same consciousness. Then actually we see the reciprocation of the Lord coming. Okay? So the sense of philosophical fixity we bring in when it comes to services, that is actually makes the services transform into devotion. Okay? If not, the services become like no activities, then remains no difference. Roji, you want to add something from your side on this topic?
The common man, who may not know who Lord Chaitanya and Jagannath, he may not know. Just by observing, he says it must be something important. A little bit introduction happens. And when we do it nicely, it will be a very good impression among the common people. And especially in the West, we conduct it in a crowded area. Police problems, this problem, traffic. But they have a place called Venice Beach. If you see some of those Rath Yatras, you would like to go there, not here. And they make prasadam arrangements so perfect. See, in the West, you cannot fool the people. In India, you can throw the prasadam. In the West, you have to respect it. You understand? And Rath Yatra should not become just a public show, just for the sake of doing it ritually. Prabhupada did it with his whole heart. All those, you see some of these Rath Yatras in the West, you see a big difference. How we do it in India and how we do it in India. Because people should not only honor Jagannath, they should honor the people who are conducting it also, no? They also should respect the people who are conducting it. So then we have to do it in such a way that they will have such a wholesome experience. What is the idea? Idea is they are coming in front of Krishna. The idea is Krishna is honoring them also by giving prasadam, by giving darshan. If Lord is coming to give darshan, that means he also respects the people who are coming, no? If Lord is getting out of his temple, why will he get it out of the temple? Even a political leader comes, he comes to respect the people. He says, I am servant. So we just can't do it ritually. Hum bhi kiya Rath Yatra. If it be done in such a way, then it will be. Why did Prabhupada spend so much money building Jew temple? Do you know why he spent so much money building the Jew temple? You have not seen also, no, some of you. He said, I am not building this temple for Indians.
I'm building this temple for the Westerners because they think India is unhygienic. We do not have proper standard of life. So he made a very special restaurant, very nice auditorium, so many things happened there. He said, I want Westerners to come to India and understand the value of the Vedic culture. How do I respect the value of the Vedic culture if it is not presented nicely? Therefore, the West Rath Yatras are conducted in the amazing pictures of that Rath Yatra. It's really catching the heart. And in the West, it's very strict. After serving prasadam, you can't leave one leaf right there. Everything has to be cleaned up. And the devotees will do all that. You can't leave any garbage around. So, how people will get attracted? You see, they say Indians in India, they don't do proper work. But when they go abroad, they say they're the best work. So, we have to improve our standard of. So, if you all plan like that and do like that, it need not be 6 kilometers and 10 kilometers. It need not be very long. Sometimes you get so tired, you don't want to go to the temple. It should be crisp, nicely done, good experience. Like, we can do it, we have to think of something. And we should not necessarily think, you see, when Prasad Maharaj wanted to come to Calcutta, he said, we are going into the city because people do not want to take time. That is true. So he built the temple in the crowdest part. That's okay. There is also one aspect we go into the crowd but then you should not become, kind of not satisfied with that. Sometimes I also did throw the prasadam from the Rath. I also did that. But it can hurt people. You throw an apple at somebody. I can do prasadam. So sometimes we all do that out of a crowd mentality. We do that, thinking that I'm doing some big service. But actual long-lasting experience, and you know how many people lose their credit card and money and this and that. It's a standard complaint in the theatre. Of course, it happens in the temple also. In the temple also, people lose their money. But we also have to be careful. But what I mean to say is, the experience should be wholesome. And especially prasadam service, it should be very wholesome. And of course, in Jagannath Puri, nobody can expect organization there because people just come. How do they serve prasadam in Jagannath Puri? There's no such called serving prasadam. People come and make their own arrangement. They stay have their own arrangement, prasadam, but we have taken the responsibility of serving prasadam. That because in the West it has to be done. Otherwise, in many temples they have Rath Yatra. They have a very small. You've seen Udupi Rath Yatra? It is just 4 corners. Srirangam, just 4 corners. It's all small Rath Yatras like that. And only people who know about it go there. Not so much public. Only of the community, only of the people who are connected. But we want everybody to come. So our responsibility is more. So if we think of some ways how to improve the quality of the Rath Yatra, that would be it. Rath Yatra, how to conduct it. You see the West Rath Yatras, they are all conducted in a very pleasant area also in which they can.
Okay, as a concrete step, you mean prasadam quality and the way we hand over to people, that should be better.
It should be.
What? These are some of the action items you can.
Anyway, that is something for organizers to discuss. How to do it nicely. Once it was said that we should. There was a rule afterwards saying no throwing of prasadam from the Rath. Because then everybody rushes, when the prasadam falls, 10 people jump on it. Something happened. And I've seen people throwing inside the shop also. Some of these things I know. Anyway, as usual, I have to have my say. But it can be true, isn't it? How many you think it can be true? How many you feel it? But the pocket, you have to say.
We can put some effort to improve it.
Try from our side, whatever best. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki, Rath Yatra Mahamotsav ki, Prabhupada